Bro, thank you for saying bye-bye. Most people don't say goodbye when I say that.
They don't?
No, they just sit there and they're like...
Are we over? Is it over?
To be fair, most people don't know anyway, so...
No, that was easy, bro.
Yeah, I told you, bro. Once the conversation starts flowing, it gets really...
I was worried for no reason, dude.
Cool.
Honey. Alright, brother.
Welcome to Ordinary Joe's Extraordinary Stories, a podcast that shines a light on ordinary people and their extraordinary stories. From small towns to big cities, we're sharing the real, raw, and inspiring moments that connect us all. Because every voice matters. Every story counts. This is Ordinary Joe's Extraordinary Stories. Alright, welcome everybody. It's another episode. You know how we do it. We got another good friend in the studio today. Welcome back to Ordinary Joe's Extraordinary Stories. Please welcome my good friend Tony Montiel. Tony, well, okay, so let's start off with this right away. You go by Jose. I guess that's your real name?
Well, my real name's Jose. Tony is from Antonio. And only old friends call me Tony.
That's wild because, when people talk about you and they say Jose, I'm like, who the fuck are you talking about? Oh, you mean my friend Tony?
Who's
like,
this
I know
Jose
that
guy?
Yeah. So that was wild. Lorenzo was the first one to talk about you in that context. And I was like, well, who the fuck is Tony? He's like, bro, you played in the mariachi with him. I'm like, I didn't play with no Jose in a mariachi group. And I said, little Jose? No, Jose. I'm like, Jose. I don't know, dude. And then we, through conversation worked out that it's Tony. I was like, you mean Tony? Shit, that's my boy. I know him.
and you know what's crazy is that Lorenzo actually had to make that transition. Because Lorenzo knew me as Tony.
That's wild.
And then he started calling me Jose because he would come up here. He would come up here to Albuquerque and then go to, like, for example, my work. He'd ask my boss, hey, is Tony here? My boss would be like, who's Tony? You know what I mean?
That's too funny.
And they're like, Tony, he's your shop manager. Like, oh, you mean Hoser? They're like, yeah, and that's how he made that transition. But Lorenzo is actually one of the ones that would still call me Tony. You know what I mean? Because Lorenzo's known me forever. He's known me for a long time.
I don't know that I'll be able to ever make that transition. You're always going to be Tony to me, dude.
I'll always respond to Tony, bro, because that's
I appreciate it because otherwise I'll feel old and out of touch because I can't do it doesn't make sense in my head. I'm like, I look at you and I'm like, you don't look like a Jose to begin with.
You look like a Tony.
You're a Tony, dude. So we met at Capitol High School.
That's right.
In the mariachi group.
That's right.
You were playing trumpet back then, right?
I was.
You don't play any instruments now, do you?
I don't, bro.
If somebody was to hand you a trumpet, could you still blow some notes?
I can still blow some notes. It's probably not gonna sound very good, and you're gonna have some cats and dogs crying a couple miles away. But
that's wild.
Yeah.
We were youngins, man. I just actually put that video out on Facebook. I digitized it and cleaned it up a little bit so you can actually see people's faces. But
I like it.
Yeah, we were youngins, man. I was 17, transitioning to 18 years old when that started. How old were you?
Well, you were a junior or a senior?
I think it was my end of my junior year that we started that.
Yeah, and I think that was the end of my freshman year, so I think I was about 15 years old.
Fucking wild, dude. And I always looked at you like you were older than me.
I think I've always looked older.
No, not so much for the looks, more for the presentation, how you carried yourself. You seemed much older than you didn't seem like a little freshman. Like, we had people who were in 6th, 7th, 8th grade and freshmen in our group, and none of them, you didn't act like any of them. You were definitely more mature, probably more so than myself, so that's interesting.
Well, what's crazy is I've said it before. I think my immaturity came later in life instead of my maturity. Yeah, like
you grew down.
I grew down. It wasn't until I was older. I think I acted more mature.
That's
or maybe what it was is I was a lot more quiet. You know what I mean? I was a lot more quiet, I think once I got more comfortable, then the real me started showing, which was immature.
Sure.
And because you're not the first one I've heard that from, that like, oh, well, I thought you were older, and not because of your looks, but because of the way you you act.
Yeah,
You know
you
what I mean?
carried yourself.
Yeah, and you, dude, we grew up with mariachis in our life, and and the mariachis that we grew up with were older,
Oh yeah.
and they act mature, they act professional.
Yeah.
They're and you have the dudes, the way they act, they have all these chicks after them, so you're like, I want to be
I
like
want to
that.
do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna act mature. I'm gonna act, you know.
Yeah, that's wild. So, out of all the instruments, how did you start with the trumpet? What made you pick that?
So when my parents got divorced and I was 7 years old, I lived in Las Cruces. Really, it was Anthony, New Mexico, but
Okay.
I don't say Anthony, New
Because
Mexico
nobody
because
knows where that is.
nobody, and it's rare when they do. When they do, it's because they're from the south, you know,
Fair enough.
in New Mexico. So when my parents got divorced, it was a really rough divorce for my mom. So the first thing she wanted to do was follow my grandma. At the time, my grandma lived in Santa Fe.
Okay.
So my mom followed my grandma, so we moved to Santa Fe. And in Santa Fe, the first school I got into was Connie Elementary School.
Yeah,
Love that school. I don't even know if it's still around actually, but
I believe so. I believe the only one that's not there anymore is DeVargas.
oh really?
Yeah,
De Vargas Middle School.
they tore it down.
Wow, that's sad
Yeah,
because that's actually part of my background. But
me too.
yeah,
That's nuts.
yeah. So anyways, I started school, elementary school at Connie Elementary, and the first person I met there was his name was Justin Salazar. Um, I don't know if he's still around. I'm not too sure. I never kept touch with him or anything. But he was one of the first kids that I actually got along with, and he was one of my first friends. And he played the trumpet. And he's like, "All right, hey, you should come play the trumpet
Interesting.
and mariachi." I was like, "Mariachi? What the hell is that?" I'm Mexican, but I'm like, "What the hell?"
Hold on, you're from Las Cruces. You didn't know what mariachi
I
was.
didn't, bro.
That's
It's crazy,
wild.
huh?
That is insane.
It's insane. It's insane, especially coming from in Anthony, bro, the schools actually speak Spanish.
Well, and to anybody who doesn't know why that's insane is because southern New Mexico is so close to the border that mariachi is a huge thing. Mexico is the origin of mariachi,
It is.
and so right there you got El Paso, and right across the border you got uh,
Juarez.
Juarez. Yes,
Yeah.
sorry, thank you.
Yes, sir.
And they're huge on mariachi there. Like it's a big cultural thing, and that floods into the southern New Mexico area.
Yep.
You and I, as a matter of fact, went to a conference down there at Las
Las
Cruces
Cruces.
at
Yes, sir.
NMSU.
We also did a conference in El Paso. Did you ever make that one?
I did not go to El Paso.
Yeah,
That must have been after my time.
that was a really good one, actually.
Um, well, we'll talk about that. We'll get there.
Yeah.
I did want to ask you, do you have, I don't know, do you have any siblings?
I do.
How many? What do you got?
I have three siblings. I got two sisters and a brother.
Older, younger? Where do you?
Younger, I'm the oldest.
No kidding.
Yes,
I'm the
sir.
oldest of four myself.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
wild.
Yeah.
How I've been through, we had the divorce in our lives repeated. As a matter of fact, my mom and dad got divorced and remarried 3 times,
Oh wow.
which is wild. But how did that play into who you guys became and how you were? Like, how did that affect you guys as kids?
So
Because you said it was a rough divorce,
it
right?
was rough. Yes, and so I grew up. I grew up. I know why it was rough. My dad was actually, and maybe that's where my background kind of falls into place as a musician, because my dad was a musician.
Okay.
My dad actually played in a band. I still remember they were called Silencio. You know what I mean? Which is silent, which is weird. But anyways, yeah. So he would come. He would come in the middle of the night, just 3, 4 in the morning, drunk as fuck, and excuse me.
No, you can cuss.
Oh, okay. We got nothing but adults listening.
I have a dirty mouth, so
Okay.
it'll come out.
Yeah. So yeah, he would come at 3, 4 in the morning, drunk, and kisses everywhere, torn shirts, and he would always try and be. I still remember vaguely, actually, and he would always try and tell my mom that, oh, it's part of being a musician. These girls throw themselves at you, and doesn't mean you have to follow through. Is always his thing, you know what I mean? I never followed through, it was just these girls going crazy, because he was the lead singer,
Oh, okay.
and So I think eventually my mom just caught him on a lie, and that just went south from there. And so when we moved, it was rough. It was rough, and it was life changing for me, not to be able to see my dad every day, and
Okay.
um, it was different. It was different, and my once we moved and I wasn't able to see my dad every day, and I stopped calling him myself.
Uh huh.
I realized that my dad really didn't care for us. You know what I mean? Because he wouldn't call me. He wouldn't call my sisters. He wouldn't. He wouldn't even visit. He'd never visit, bro. Like it's what is it? 3 hours from Las Cruces to
Right.
Santa Fe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he never visited. He never called. He never visited. Never helped my mom with anything. So it was just like it made me who I was, and I got tough inside. You know what I mean? I got tough inside, and
What
it was heartbreaking.
whatever it was, you turned out great. Like you're a good man. You're a good
Thank you,
person,
thank you,
and
brother.
you've always been, like I said, you've been mature for your age, and you've always been somebody who could be looked up to, somebody who does the right thing, somebody who makes good choices. Like you're not, you know better than anybody the people that we grew up around, the city that we grew up in, and all the bad choices that people our age were making. And
Yeah,
you very much like me kept your nose clean, kept out of trouble, made good decisions. And maybe that is for different reasons. Maybe, I don't know. I made those decisions because I had a lot of social anxiety. I had a lot of anxiety with getting in trouble. Authority, meant a lot to me. That was always really important, I guess, instilled by my parents, that you respect your elders, you don't get in trouble, you don't make stupid decisions like that. But that in the long run helped me stay out of trouble, because when my friends made choices that they were gonna go do some dumb shit, I was like, no, I don't want nothing to do with that, bro. You guys are gonna go to jail. I don't want to go to jail. Like I'm too small to go to jail. I'll get raped. Like,
and that's crazy that you say that because like when I first met you, that was not you.
that's
Well, it didn't come across that way.
it may have presented that way, but
Yeah,
I've always been a people person, I
yeah.
can
You
say.
you were a you was a people person, and you were the life of the show. Whenever we had a mariachi concert or
That's
something,
that's
you
a
were the life.
it's a big compliment. I appreciate
Yeah,
it, but
so it's hard to see you that
it
way.
was not that. It was and maybe like I felt safe spaces there. I felt that's okay. I can be who I am. I can do whatever I want here, and I know that there's no consequences for me just acting stupid. But
Yeah,
out in the real
probably
world,
what it is.
saw
Yeah,
too many people go to jail, and people die for that matter because of their stupid choices. And I was
yeah,
like, I'm too scared. I don't want to ever come across a cop in the wrong context. And so
yeah.
that held me back from doing a lot of things that, when I was a kid, I thought maybe I'm missing out on shit. But as an adult, I'm like, bro, I didn't miss out on anything. I just missed out on trouble, and that's perfectly fine with me. So that's really wild to think about now.
Yeah.
But so how did the divorce affect your siblings? Like
Oh,
obviously
sorry,
they
buddy.
they were younger and they didn't know any different,
They
or
didn't. I actually, you know what? That's interesting. You bring that up because I've never actually asked.
no, no kidding.
I to be honest with you,
Did you
I
notice
have no
anything?
clue. I have no clue like how it affected my sisters. Um, I know that.
Well, how about this as a precursor? Were they close to your dad? Who out of the
n-
kids was close to your dad?
I think they were too little.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
yeah, that
I
makes sense.
I was 7, and my sister right after me was 5, so she probably missed him. I'm sure, but didn't see anything past that. Just missing him. Like she didn't build any type of remorse or any type of feeling towards my dad missing.
Well, that's good.
Maybe just missing him. That's it.
And how did your siblings turn out as good as you did as
They
adults?
probably better.
Yeah,
Yeah, and my sisters are good. They're good people.
good.
Um, the sister right after me, she was married for a long time. They got divorced. So she's on her own. She's on her own, and she's doing great.
That's good.
Yeah, and then my sister right after her, she's married. She had a kid, and then found out she was gay.
Wait, hold on. She didn't find out. Maybe she came to terms with the fact he was gay.
I'd like to
She
say that
found
she
out.
found out.
She's like, oh shit, I don't like this. I'm gay.
I think I like that instead. So
That's too funny.
yeah, so she's actually happily married now with
Good.
her, which makes me very happy.
That's
You know what
good.
I mean? Yeah, my little sister's taken care of.
Good, good.
Her wife is an awesome person.
Awesome.
Yeah,
We love
constantly
that.
looking out for kids. She's a basketball coach.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so she's awesome.
Nice.
She takes care of the kids. She does a lot for the community and the kids. It reminds me a lot of me. You know what I mean? Because I love coaching. I do flag football.
Okay.
I coach flag football, and I just love those kids. I've built relationships with them, and then that's what she does.
That's
You know
cool.
what I mean? So I love her for that. You know, and not just that, but that's one of the main reasons.
Taking care
You
of your
know,
sister and
yeah,
whatnot.
she's taking care of my sister, and my sister's happy, and she's doing good.
That's good.
So she wasn't happy with the father of her son.
Okay.
She wasn't happy, and you can tell. You can tell. You know what I mean? And she would hide it in front of me and stuff because I'm outspoken and I'm protective.
Sure.
And growing up with seeing my dad being abusive, I wouldn't allow that with my sisters. You know what I mean? So if there was anything like that, I'm sure she wouldn't tell me unless I
That's
saw it.
that's wild. Now, you said your dad was abusive. Do you mean physically abusive,
He was both.
like mentally, everything, like
Everything, bro.
verbally?
Everything.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's
So
wild because my dad was too. My dad, I think through age matured out of that phase, but yeah, when we were little, man, we saw some shit and it was not pleasant. Like
yeah.
I think that contributed a lot to the anxiety that I had as a teenager and leading into adulthood.
Yep.
And I think also to that point it kind of played into who I became as an adult because I decided, you know what, I don't want to be that. I never want to be that. I saw what it did to my mom. I saw how it affected us, and I was like, I don't ever want to inflict that on another person.
Yeah.
So it kind of taught me life lessons, and I take it as a good thing. Not that my mom had to go through it or my dad was that way, but that in the long run everything turned out okay. You know, they made peace after all was said and done. Of course, they're not together, but you know, it was what it was. But I just remember seeing that as a kid and being fucking petrified that there was nothing I could do to stop it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yep.
it's like when if you run up on a dog fight and neither one of those dogs is going to listen to you, you're not going to be able to stop them and separate them. You're going to get injured in the process, as a matter of fact. And dude, I remember one time sleeping as a little kid. Now, of course, I don't like to talk about my dad bad, but you know, I lived through this. I was sleeping in my bed, and it was probably 1 in the morning, and my dad had come home, and I just remember waking up because my mom landed on top of me, and my dad was standing over her with a hammer, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like just
Damn.
petrified and just screaming my head off. And of course, my dad didn't do anything. He backed off and left. So good, you know, all turned out okay. But
In a sense, you made him change his mind, which is good.
possibly,
Yeah.
but just the thought of the things that I went through with that is I think it played a lot into triggering me triggering my anxiety, but also making me learn life lessons that grew from. I use those as a positive. So I think that's a shitty thing to go through, but also a really good thing
You know,
to help you
they say
learn.
that growing up, there's a fork in life where you could stick to what you know, or you can start your own path. And you started your own path. That's good. I'm proud of you, man. You know,
Same for you. You went
thank
through
you.
it too, so
Yeah,
that's amazing.
yeah.
You went through it a lot younger than I did. I mean, I don't remember the exact age, but I could have been that young when it started. So I don't know. Maybe you learned those life lessons a lot more or sooner than I did, and that's why you turned out the way you are. And
Yeah.
you are a lot mature, more prior to when I became mature. So that's
Yeah.
really cool. Um, Now let's talk about the mariachi experience because we met in that class. I've told the story before, but I just one day I was fucking around in Mr. Lucero's guitar class because he didn't teach us shit. But I was messing around and he walked in with the guitarron and I was like, "What's that big ass guitar? Let me check that out." And I pulled it out and just started playing with it. And he's like, "Do this for me." And he just gave me a couple notes to play and I played it. And he's like, "You're gonna be my guitarron player." And I was like, "Yeah, all right, cool. I can do shit anyway. Let's go." And then When did you? How did you? Were you even in his class? How did you
I
get
wasn't
on
in his
board?
class. No, matter of fact, him and Mr. I don't know if you remember Mr. Gonzalez, rest in peace.
Oh, vaguely. I didn't.
Mr. G,
Yeah, I knew who he was. I didn't meet him personally.
personally. So they were friends.
Okay.
And Mr. Lucero had mentioned that he needed trumpets, you know. So that's when him and Mr. G agreed to send us to his classes.
Okay.
So that's how we eventually became Mariachi Capital.
Yeah, that was so much fun. So we
Yeah.
started practicing at Alameda, then we grew a little bit, got some younger kids on board for violins.
Yeah.
We had a huge freaking group, dude. There was like 13 of us or something like that. It was,
That was, I think, bigger than that
but
actually,
the
dude.
sound was phenomenal. So
Yeah.
I can't argue with the quality. But
Well, at least to us, it sounded phenomenal. I don't know
yeah,
to everybody else.
looking back on those tapes, I was like, oh, some of those notes are gnarly. But
Damn, that was Tony with that sour note right there.
hey, I played many of those sour notes myself, so there's no arguing.
Yeah, right.
But for how little experience we had,
Yeah.
not only on our individual instruments but as a group, I think we did really good. We impressed the school board enough to buy
Yeah.
us trajes and shit, so that was really cool.
And yeah, we had concerts for them, for the whole school.
Yeah, that was
That
a
was
lot of
cool.
fun.
You know what I mean?
Then we went to the conferences, and the first one I remember going to was Cruces, which was a lot of fun. We had a little bit of trouble making down there, which was cool. I don't know if you remember Marijuanica getting in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was
I
fun.
remember.
And then the one that I think sticks with me the most is when we went to Tucson. Do you remember that conference?
I do, but I didn't go with you guys. I
didn't go with
actually
us?
went with Mr. Gonzalez.
No shit.
I went with Connie Mariachi.
Okay.
Yeah, but I remember seeing you guys.
I didn't realize there was a separation.
There was. Because for the longest time, even though I played with you guys, I was still part of Connie.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because Mr. G didn't want to. I couldn't leave him. He didn't have any more trumpets.
Oh,
you know?
jeez.
Well, he did, but they were new, and he knew that he could count on me to lead them. I was kind of the lead. You know
Okay.
what I mean? I wasn't kind of. I was the lead.
So I guess this memory is out of context and out of time then, but I remember us riding the school bus to the conference and stopping for gas, and me and you were geeking out about Eminem dropping Forgot About Dre. And we were trying to figure out what the fuck he was saying.
And that was to Tucson.
That's what I thought.
No,
It may have
I
been
think
Las
it was a
Cruces.
different situation or a different time. Because anytime I went to the Tucson conference, it was always with Mr. G.
Okay, because the only ones I ever went to was Santa Fe once, Albuquerque once, Cruces once, and Tucson once.
So it might have
must
been
have been
Cruces
Cruces.
or even maybe Albuquerque.
No, this was a long drive. Like we were way out of our league, and we already had our little mascot with us on the bus. Because I remember him talking a lot of shit to me in Spanish, and I didn't understand.
Who are you talking about?
You know, the little. He was like 3 or 4 years old, and he just used to dress in a traje and look like
Oh
a.
yeah. Yeah,
What's his name?
yeah, he would show up in a white suit sometimes.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like a different looking, so he stands out.
Yeah, he was just our little mascot, basically. He would
Yeah.
dance with me and Javi.
Yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah.
Shit, what's his
Javi,
name?
Javi used to love playing with, used to love dancing with that kid.
Yeah.
That kid got so much attention.
That kid was funny as hell, man. Yeah, I remember him talking shit to me in Spanish, and I was like, bro, I don't even know those words. That's amazing, but I couldn't talk shit back, so everybody would just be laughing. He was a funny little kid.
Yeah, he was.
Wow.
I forget his name, dude, but
That's
I even
wild.
forgot about him, actually.
I bet you he's probably 30 years old now. That's
Yeah, probably
fucking
30 years
insane.
old, grown ass kid.
We're old, bro.
Yeah.
It's insane. Okay, so mariachi years were good times. Yeah, geeking out about Eminem that's one of the memories I will never forget. You and me just trying to decipher what he was saying in that chorus and be like, what the fuck is he saying? This is amazing.
I was a big Eminem geek, bro. So,
I still am, so
yeah.
it's
So it doesn't surprise me at all.
okay, so moving on from mariachi, we lost touch when I graduated high school. Obviously, I kind
Yeah.
of Mr. Lucero wanted me to stay with the group and stay coming to practices every day, and I was like, bro, I'm 18. Like, I want to get out there and explore the world.
Yeah.
I got shit to do,
I'm
bro. I
done with
can't.
this. This was for
Yeah.
high school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and looking back in context, I kind of regret it because I really enjoyed that. I loved hanging out with you guys, and I loved, playing music and all the fun. But I also wanted to go live life and experience what it was like to graduate and get out of high school and see what was out in the world. I was very sheltered, we'll say, when I was growing up, and my mom didn't let me out of the house for very many reasons aside from mariachi. And so I was just itching to get out in the world and see what it was like to have freedom to experience that.
Yeah.
And so I dropped off the mariachi, and then you and I lost touch, and it was years. It wasn't until I joined back up with Lorenzo and them in Diferencia, and him talking about you one day that I was like, bro, how the fuck do you even know him? How do you know Lorenzo?
Well, I kind of fell into his group. He came,
Diferencia?
Diferencia, yeah,
No
he came
kidding.
and helped us. He came to help us at Capital.
Okay.
You were already gone. Um, so he started his own group. And he called it Diferencia, and pretty much grabbed everybody from Capital and brought him into this group.
Okay.
And this was completely away from school anything, school funding, anything.
Sure.
This was his own group.
Sure.
So when he brought me in, he wanted me to be, because he was the lead trumpet, he wanted me to, be his second trumpet. And I was. It was fun. Had a good ass time. We brought Amanda in. We even brought Joanna in, and I remember Amanda wasn't at this time. She wasn't so much into mariachi anymore.
Oh, okay.
She was kind of phasing off, kind of like you.
Okay.
I think she wanted to do the same thing and venture off.
Sure.
Joanna stuck around.
Yeah.
So for the longest time, it was us. It was me, Joanna, Lorenzo, and a couple other people. I'm not sure if you remember them. But I forget his name, dude. And he was actually our instructor. He played with, what was that big Santa Fe group? Dude, you don't remember? He was a bigger dude. Sang really damn good. He played the vihuela.
I can picture him. He's actually on that video that I have.
Yeah.
I'll
I
make
think
you a copy.
he
You can
helped
check it out, but
Capital,
yeah,
actually. Yeah.
I can't remember his name though.
Well, he was our instructor.
Okay.
For the longest time, and then eventually he phased off. So Lorenzo became pretty much the instructor, because Lorenzo's great at music.
Bro, Lorenzo's wild. I'm trying to get him to come on here and
You
talk about
should.
his musical history, but he's a busy guy. He's hard to get a hold
He
of.
is
So
busy, dude. And you know what? You should have told him that I was coming. Maybe he would have. Maybe he would have been like, "I'm down to go down, talk with you guys." You
yeah,
know what
sure,
I
sure.
mean?
He's wild. He plays some like 17 instrument. Well, I'm gonna save it for the podcast. He's fucking insane though. He's a
Yeah.
really smart guy.
He's really smart. Well, a lot of people that play instruments, a lot of instruments, seem to be really smart, and I
Yeah.
think it comes with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, because obviously I only play the trumpet, so and even then it's halfway. So
Well, hold on. We're gonna get into why I dispute that saying here in a second, but
But yeah, that's how we met. He started helping us out with Capital,
okay.
and then we just kicked it off from there, man. We became good friends. He always invited me over to his house. Like, besides just mariachi,
Sure.
he always made it personal. Like, he wanted me to come over to his house. He wanted me to. And then there's some stories about his ex and his ex's sister with me and her that's for a different time. You know what I mean? And
Hey, bro, we're here for vulnerability. So if you want to talk about it, please.
well, no, I think that brought us closer, because he had my back in that situation. We went at the time. I was going to school at Highlands University in Las
Vegas. Yeah.
I was a cowboy.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Hold on. Did you get a degree up there?
I didn't finish school there.
No, I didn't either. So
Yeah.
fair enough.
From there, I was at New Mexico State after.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So anyways, I got kind of involved with her sister.
Okay.
And I could promise you that it was all consensual. It was it was adult stuff. It was fun stuff. It was adult time. You know
Okay.
what I mean? And she went and told her sister some stuff that I didn't agree with, and it immediately conflict. It caused conflict between us.
No, hold on, hold on. You can't just start a story like this and not give us some details here. Now,
So,
are we talking rape accusations or something like that? Or I
um.
don't want people to assume the worst if it's not the worst, but
Oh yeah, yeah,
also
yeah,
if it
yeah, yeah. No,
is.
I feel you on that because it's easy to assume the worst on
Right.
that situation. No, it wasn't rape
Okay.
accusations, but it
Okay.
was more like it was supposed to be between me and her.
Okay.
I didn't want nobody to know about it. I wasn't
Now,
very proud of it.
are you talking about your relationship with
My
her?
relationship with her, besides friends,
Why were what? Hold on. What made you not proud of it?
because
If listen, if you don't want to talk about it, I
no, it's
understand. It's
like
okay.
if she's listening, or I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. She
That's
just
fair.
wasn't my type. You
Okay,
know what I
that's
mean?
fair.
And it was what happened, and it was
Okay.
we went out, we had a good time, we were drinking,
Okay.
you know, and it was one of those situations where like, damn, like
She
what the
wanted to carry it further and you didn't.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's fair.
No, and no, no, no. What I meant was like we did it. We did it. We went all the way with it, and I wish it didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was supposed to be just between me and her. It was one of those situations where like, hey, cool, this is gonna happen, but this is between us,
Okay,
and
sure.
that's it.
Sure.
It quickly got to her sister,
Okay.
which is Lorenzo, well, at the time Lorenzo's wife, and then her sister starts spreading it like fucking cockroaches in Joe's apartment. You know what I mean? It's just everybody, and all of a sudden knows that fucking Hoser, or at the time Tony slept with her sister,
Okay.
and now so everybody's it's getting around. Oh, you slept with your sister. You slept with your sister, and I'm embarrassed about it. I don't know why. I'm a man, whatever. But I wasn't proud of it because she's not very appealing.
Hold on. So was that a shallow thought? You were just
It was
more of a
very
shallow
shallow,
person?
yeah, and that's where I don't want
That's why you're not proud.
to. I'm not proud, yes,
That's okay. That's
and
understandable.
it's one of those that you just it's, it's like a scooter, bro. They're fun to ride, and you just don't want your friends to see you riding it. You know what I mean? And
Oh
it's
my god.
but anyways, yeah. So that was a different situation. Lorenzo backed me up on that, and he just started telling everybody it was just a rumor, and it's not true, and
That's deep.
yeah,
You guys had a weird past.
yeah,
That's a weird way to get close.
yeah, and so because of that, I actually was like, all right, I can trust this guy. Like this guy's really cool, man. He's down to earth, and he's got my back, because we played together. So
Sure.
obviously, and he's like, so from there on, I started following him around, taking all his invites when he's invited me to his house and stuff, and I'd go over, he'd barbecue and everything. So we got really close.
Cool.
Eventually got really close, and and then as I got older, I kind of ventured off like you did,
Yeah, sure.
and
So how long were you with him in Diferencia?
jeez, I couldn't tell you, man. It was a long time, but
Talking years?
yeah, years.
Okay.
If I got to put a number on it, it had to have been at least 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's impressive. So you
yeah.
must have been really good at trumpet by the end of that.
No. No, I got pretty decent. I got decent. I could
That's
play things,
that's what I consider myself with guitar on. I got
Yeah.
decent. I can get by on
Yeah.
a show.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't until we got a third trumpet, dude. His name was David,
Okay.
that kind of helped me phase out of there because I was like, they're in good hands now. You know
Sure.
what I mean?
Sure.
Because David, he just started playing. He made it with Mariachi Sol de Mexico.
Oh wow. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
That's like making the NFL if
Yeah,
you play
that's big
football,
time.
bro.
That's big time. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So yeah, he joined the group. He was from up north. He came from Española.
Okay.
Yeah, and as soon as I heard him play, I was like, and he was young too, young. I had to have already been by this time. I was already probably like 19,
Okay.
and this guy had to have been like 15 years old.
Damn.
And he started playing, and I was like, oh damn, like, this kid is good.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, he played and hung out with all the Cordovas up there.
Wow.
Yeah, so
I'm that's nuts that you talk about that because the way I look at Lorenzo, I'm blown away that he's not part of something bigger like that.
Yeah.
just with the not only the amount of instruments he plays, but the discipline he has. I'm surprised he never made it big time like that because he definitely has the skills.
And I don't think it's so much a lack of skills. I think it's the lack of effort. I don't think Lorenzo really he likes the humble. I think the humble life of doing his thing. You
That's
know what
fair.
I mean? And
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
I mean that in all respect, and I mean that
Of course.
in a good way
Yeah,
because he does it in a good way.
of
You know what I
course.
mean?
Of
Like
course.
he wants to teach kids. He wants to teach other people.
Yeah,
He wants to stay in that circle. You
that's
know what I
cool.
mean?
Well, I can't wait to get him on here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on from mariachi, you and I reconnected via Lorenzo when I joined his group. This is, let's say, 2014, 2012, something like that. I joined up with him, played with him solid for a good 2 or 3 years. Kind of dropped off when I moved down here, and now I'll gig with them if they need a guitarron player, and I'm available. But yeah, one day he and I were sitting around chatting about his friend Jose, and I'm like, yeah, that's the only Jose I know is Little Hoser that we played with, and who I'm still in touch with, Little Jose Solis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
How's he doing? I'm sorry. I don't mean
No,
to.
that's cool. He's doing good. He was actually on season 1 of this podcast, so you can
Oh
go back
wow.
and watch it. Yeah, he's doing good. He got a doctorate degree. Yeah,
What?
yeah, he got a doctorate in water studies. I can't remember exactly what it, and I'm sorry to do that, Hoser. I can never remember what your degree is, but yeah, he works for the state as like he does some crazy shit that I don't even understand the
That's cool.
wording. Yeah, he's really smart. He's married, has a couple kids,
That's cool,
doing
man.
good. They live up in Santa Fe, so yeah, still keep in touch with him. But anyway, Lorenzo was like, yeah, my friend Jose works for King Kong Customs, and he does some crazy shit. He was in a magazine for installing some car audio in a Porsche when they didn't have. I guess you created your own fiber optic system to match up in a Porsche with pens or something like that. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So at the time, I don't remember exactly the time, the year, but they still didn't have any adapters to adapt to integrate to the fiber optic system and Volkswagens and Porsche, all those European vehicles.
Okay,
What they call the MOST system.
the most.
MOST, yes,
Okay,
MOST. It's just a fiber optic system that runs everything in the car.
that's wild.
And one disconnection of the light that goes through fiber optic cable,
You lose
you
everything.
lose everything after it.
Right.
You know, so there was no way I could tap into this unless I can get that light to keep going. So one day I was just thinking like, well, okay, what can I do that simulates what it's doing? You know what I mean? So one day I just opened up a pen and I was looking at the ink holder on the plastic on the ink holder.
Yeah.
I was like, what if I take this apart, clean out all the ink, and try it and see if maybe it'll still transfer the light the same way. So I did. I tried it, and it worked. So I was able to integrate. Able to integrate into their MOS system, and still do an analog system that we used.
Dude, that is fucking wild.
Yeah, because the reason is we had to remove the factory radio, and if we remove the factory radio, then you lose that light once you disconnect the radio.
Right, so that's the source of the light.
That's the source of the light. Yes. No, that was one of the chain links of the light.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So what I did is I removed the factory radio and I used the pen and just looped it. Pretty much I looped the input to the output. Looped it. You could literally see the light going through the pen, and it worked cherry.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, so I was able to successfully delete the factory radio.
And what was the purpose of that? What was going on in this car? What were you guys like?
We wanted to do an aftermarket radio because even though it was the 2000s, that damn radio still was trash. It still did CDs
Sure.
because this was clearly after the CDs was
No
CDs,
longer
they were
popular.
they're gone. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so we were able to do an aftermarket radio that does Bluetooth, that does I don't think at the time, they didn't do CarPlay yet,
Okay.
but they did the mirroring.
And this was at King Kong Customs?
This was a King Kong custom, yeah. So I did that, and And then I made some custom pods on the door panels for some sub drivers.
And this got you in a magazine?
This got me into a magazine. The word got around.
What magazine was it?
Um, I think it was called Tech. To be honest with you, I would have to ask Reggie, the owner of King Kong. It was a tech magazine. It was actually it was distributed at the SEMA show. Actually, you
Oh
know what I
wow.
mean? Yeah. Um,
Do you have a copy of that? Because I'd love to look at it.
I might. Yeah, actually. Yeah.
Okay, I'd love to see that.
I'd have to find it because I moved after that. I had moved from an apartment, bought a house.
That's fair.
So it might be in a box somewhere.
So how did you get into car audio? When did that start?
Car audio actually started in high school. It was when I first met you.
Oh, no
I was
kidding.
just doing it actually.
Were you?
Yeah.
Wow, I
I
didn't start. I mean, I started vaguely in high school installing amps when I was a sophomore.
Doing it for yourself.
Self-taught, yeah.
Yeah.
I learned, bro. When I started, I remember asking my dad, "What the fuck is an earth ground? Why does it keep telling me to hook this wire to an earth ground? What does that mean?" And my dad's like, "I don't know."
Hook it up to the damn ground, bro.
I was like, "I don't know what the fucking earth ground is." So anyway, over time I learned. I ended up installing amps into several of my friends' vehicles. You know, people start driving, so that's how I got into it. But I think prior to that, it was from going to car shows and just hearing the loud bass from these systems that were just blew me away. And I was like, I want that in my life
I want to do
always.
that. Yeah.
But okay, so how did you get into it? What
So
started you on that path?
so all through high school, I was constantly looking for work because I wanted money. You know what I mean?
Good
And
man.
growing up with a single mom who just takes care of the necessities. I had no money, so I had friends. They had mama's boys, daddy's boys. They all had cars. They had money. I didn't. And
Yeah.
so the only other way to make money is obviously to work. So it just wild hair up my ass. It kind of goes back to my friend Roman. He actually used to hook up radios,
Okay.
and he hooked up the radio on a little beater car that I got.
Okay.
And I was paying attention to him, and he was kind of just teaching me, but he knew like the backyard getaway how to hook him up, and
Sure.
he touch every wire together
Oh
until the
fuck.
thing works.
Jesus.
You blow probably 10 fuses in the process.
Yeah.
But it worked. He'd get it done.
Okay.
And so I kind of got interested in it. I was like,
Okay.
this is actually pretty cool. And so one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go apply at Audio Express because that was huge in Santa Fe.
Yeah.
And you probably know the owner. Well, not the owner, but the manager. His name, they called him Food.
Yeah, I remember food.
Yeah, Food. He's still there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's still there. That dude is
He's a lifer.
Mike Santa Cruz, which is the owner of Audio Express, loves him. Rest in peace, by the way. Mike Santa Cruz is out. So, yeah, I went and applied with him, and he's like, "What's up? How you doing? Blah blah blah. Like, what do you know how to do?" And I told him, "I know how to do radios. I know. I thought I was cool. A little bit I knew.
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right, cool. Come tomorrow, and I'll throw you in some decks, so you can show me what you got. And everything's commission based, so you make as much money as you want."
Okay.
All right, cool. I came in, bro. Fucking, I started doing that, testing wires, touching it, bro. And he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" So I'm hooking up the radio like you asked me to. Like, no, dude. What are you doing? By this time, I already blew some fuses. And so that's how I started. He's like, "Yeah, well, I like you, and you got ambition, so I'm gonna teach you."
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so he started teaching me, and he put kind of like I was an apprentice, so he kind of like put me with a guy that already knew what he was doing. His name's Ulis. I think he's still there actually. He's the shop manager there.
Okay.
Ulis, and he at the time I was like, this guy's a genius. This guy knows everything. You know what I mean? This guy's badass.
Yeah.
And so he taught me the right way on how to hook up a radio and amplifier, speakers, all that stuff.
Nice.
Taught me how to take a door panel apart without breaking it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I thank him for that. And so that's how my car audio career started. I
That's
started
interesting.
there, and I just wanted to be, and everything I do, I just want to be good. I want to be good at it. You know what I mean? So
I understand.
that's what my drive was, to keep going at it. And then I eventually came to Albuquerque and started at Audio Express here.
Oh, okay.
And that's how I met Reggie. Reggie is the owner of King Kong Custom.
Okay.
Yeah, and me and Reggie became good friends. I was the shop manager there, and and I love car audio, bro, and I love messing with cars most importantly.
100%. I
Yeah,
I live that life. I feel you, bro.
yeah.
So, I'm on that note, I'm actually looking forward to possibly collaborating with you on my XB. I would love to get your knowledge and input on building something nice for my XB, not just my ghetto shit. Because,
I
dude, if it
got
was
you,
up to
man.
me, I would just throw 6 boards together in a cube and call it a day. But
Yeah,
I would have actually love to have a box that's tuned to a certain
to a certain
frequency
frequency.
and has the proper airspace for the subwoofers I'm putting into it. And if I do it alone, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna throw guesses into the wind and hope it sounds good.
It looks good. It'll
It
sure
looks fun.
work.
It works. The speakers pump. Like I can hook the amp up. I know how to get the resistance tuned good, but I have no idea about airspace. That's where I get lost. But to that note, you told me a really interesting story when I visited you at King Kong Customs about you worked with, was it, what was his name from jeez, my brain, bro. I'm telling you, my old brain. I can't remember anything.
If you give me a little clue, I might remember.
Ryan Freelinghouse's guy. Um, the what is it? The guys who used to do the Pimp My Ride.
Oh, you're talking about what was his name? They call him Fishbowl.
You went to like a.
I did. I went to a training
There you
actually,
go. That's what I
and
was
they
looking
were all
for.
there.
So tell me about that.
Yeah. So they sent me Reggie, who I think about, who I thank for. Sent me to a training, a custom train for custom builds and custom, just show car type material.
Bro, the experiences you must have had must have been
Oh,
amazing.
bro.
Okay, so
So
please.
yeah, so it's in Tucson.
Okay.
It's in Tucson. I'm sorry, no, it's actually in Tempe. But we stayed in Phoenix, so we had to travel every day.
Okay.
It's they're called sheesh. Now that you got me thinking of the name, I forgot the actual name of the business. Uh, it'll come to mind.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, we they sent me there. I once I got there, we started learning about fabricating door panels, fabricating inserts into door panels, fabricating, calculating airspace, because every now and then you build a box that's not square.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not a rectangle, which is the easiest way to get a airspace. But every now and then you build a custom fiberglass box that's round, or it's got weird shapes to it, and you need to know the airspace in it in order to properly set a subwoofer in that airspace. Because the subwoofers only perform depending on the airspace.
Right.
So it was some great training, dude. And then eventually, by the second or third day of being there, these guys came in, man, and they were like, "We got a surprise for you guys." Brian Schmidt is the owner of that place,
Okay.
Mobile Solutions.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mobile Solutions. If
I'm very
Mobile
familiar.
Solutions is watching, they owe me for this.
I know Mobile Solutions because I did their MECP course.
Oh, did you?
Yep, and I got
Okay.
MECP
Certified?
qualified. Certified, yeah.
Yes, sir. Nice. Good for you. So, anyways, Brian Schmidt is the owner. He tells us, "Yeah, I got a surprise for you guys, man." And sure enough, these badasses come in, bro. I don't know if you've ever heard of Fishman. Um, there was a couple other ones, and now that I'm on the spot, I'm actually forgetting their names. But
Welcome to my world.
yeah, they'll come back to mind, just like Mobile Solutions did.
Sure.
But these guys have been in magazines, bro. They've been in big time magazines, lowrider magazines, the magazines you know about.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? And those cars that are in there custom built, is all them, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys actually are the guys building the cars on Pimp My Ride,
Yes.
on those type of shows.
Yes.
Yep. These guys are the ones doing it, and I met them all and learned from them, and
That's
actually
so
got
cool.
pointers from them, and and when somebody like that tells you, hey, you're doing that wrong, you know you're doing it wrong.
100%.
You know what I mean?
You take that constructive criticism
Yeah,
as
exactly.
valuable information, not offensive.
Yeah, when you got Joe Blow over here telling you, oh, yeah, you're doing that wrong, you're
Ah,
just like,
fuck off.
fuck are you? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But when you got fucking Fishman telling you, hey, you're holding that router wrong or whatever, or you're using it wrong, then you're like, oh shit, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
You know, teach me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was nice. It was nice, and it's a humbling experience.
What did you build in that training?
What I built in that was actually I learned how to use two-part polyethylene.
Polyethylene?
Polyethylene? No, that's not the word. Polyurethane, I think it's called.
Okay.
So it's a two-part foam. It's
Oh, okay.
expanding foam.
Okay.
So you just mix it. It's usually a 2-to-1 mixture. Once you mix it, you got literally a minute of work time. You got to lay it where you want it, because then eventually you're gonna get to shape it, but you want it to fill in whatever it is you're trying to fill in, right?
Oh, wow.
So I learned how to do that. So with that, I built a box. It's just a little miniature box. It's just to learn. You know what I mean?
Sick.
So I built a little sub box with some weird shapes. I wish I had a picture of it, but if you go to King Kong Custom, it's actually right there on the show floor.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you see this weird custom sub box. That's me.
That's what you built. That's
Yeah.
sick, dude.
And then right next to it is actually a door panel, because Ryan Smith, who also is a great builder, he went to that course too.
Okay.
So he built a custom panel.
Sick.
Badass, dude, with badass inserts.
That's so cool.
He actually learned how to do because he was doing that part of the class. He learned how to do the wood grain, how to make it look like wood grain, plexiglass look like wood grain.
Holy shit.
Which is sadly on most of these cars, and people don't know it. Oh, my car's got wood grain. It's like, sorry, buddy, no, it doesn't. You know what I mean?
Let's see how that wood grain holds up to a torch.
Yeah, like, unless it's a Rolls Royce, it's not wood grain, bro.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, so yeah, he actually, I gotta thank him for that. I did thank him for that. He taught me how to do that.
That's cool.
How to make it look like wood grain. You know what I mean? How to shape it, because he took that part of it, and I taught him what I learned from my part of it. You know?
That's sick.
Yeah, but when we got to meet these guys, we all got together. It was a whole class thing. You know what I mean? I learned about the calculations on an ellipse shape. I learned calculations on everything. I still probably don't remember it. You know what I mean? But if I saw it, I'm sure I would remember. But I learned that. I learned the way a sound frequency travels, and how big it is, how small it is, depending on the pitch.
God, that's cool.
Yeah, like if you with these Joe Blows nowadays, if you show them an old equalizer with all the little knobs, remember those?
I do.
They probably have no fucking clue what those things do, bro. But they love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what matters. But I learned how to actually what all those little frequencies mean and what they do. You know what I
That's
mean?
cool.
So thanks to Mobile Solutions.
I mean, I have a basic understanding of those, and I've installed a couple of them that I've actually sat there and listened to a song on repeat over and over and tuned them one at a time just to hear what the differences is, and then hear how when I tune the next one, that first one changes, and then I have to go back and I've spent hours on people's cars just tuning those things to what I thought was the best sound, but I guarantee you it was way the fuck off.
Well, see, one of the things that you learn with time is that there's a lot of sound defeat, and you don't know about that unless you know about it. You know what I mean? Like, for example, in a sub box, a lot of potential of that sub box is not there because the way you tuned it, the way you built it, there's a lot of sound defeat, which meaning you're not getting efficiency. You're not getting what you want.
Yeah.
You're not letting these subwoofers give you the worst distortion in the world that you could think of, because that's what bass is. Bass is distortion.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So when you say, "Oh, well, you're not getting the distortion you want," and you don't know what you're talking about, you're like, "Wasn't that good?" Like, who the fuck wants distortion?
I defeated distortion.
Yeah.
I win.
No, and it's totally opposite. The opposite when you're talking about subwoofers. When you're talking about subwoofers, you actually want distortion. That's what sub frequency is. It's
That's
distortion.
wild.
You know what I mean? So I learned a lot with them. You know what I mean? In a matter of a week. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, I totally recommend it. You know, I recommend signing up for these. They're not cheap, but sign up for these mobile solution courses with Brian Schmidt. He's a great guy. He's a
That's
great guy. He
that's
taught me a lot.
wild. That's wild. So how many years were you at King Kong?
I was there 12 years.
12 years. And what was the preimpetus for you to leave?
Um, I I don't know. I kind of, in a sense, to be dead honest, I think I got bored.
That's
I
wild.
got bored because I'd been doing this since I was a kid.
Well, and
You
I
know?
get that shit becomes monotonous no matter what, how much you enjoy it. Like
Yeah,
I
you
thought I would never give up on mariachi,
yeah
so
you
I
you start
completely
showing up
understand.
and you start thinking it's just
Oh fuck,
robotic.
another one.
It's robotic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm like a robot in an assembly line just doing the same thing.
Well, now, when you were doing custom jobs, was that something different that got your attention? You were like, okay, well, this is fun. This is gonna
Yes,
be cool.
of course, dude. Like
But when somebody shows up every day is like, I want a radio and an amp and a
yeah,
prefab box.
yeah.
That's like
It's just repetitive.
yeah,
Like
I understand completely.
no, dude, and that's what kept me going for such a long time is that when I would get those jobs, hey, I want this custom pod or this custom center console or build me a fourth order box, something that actually works my brain. You know what I mean? Or a
That's
sixth order
wild.
bandpass box. Something like that is what kept me going. You know what
That's
I mean? But
that's
as
insane.
you said it perfectly, dude. Like it just got repetitive and boring when I show up and oh, what's up, what am I doing today, boss? And oh, well, we got an amp and subs. Uh,
That's dude.
yeah,
I,
like
I completely understand. I when I the first time when I got laid off from the labs the first time, I went to work for my buddy's uncle doing interlocks,
okay.
and I got certified through the state. That's actually why I had to get the MECP certification was so that the state would have something to qualify me to do that in.
Yeah.
So I was
Something
installing
that
those.
says electronics.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I was installing those, and bro, one day I showed up and I was like, "This again? Fuck, bro! I've done this every day for months now. I don't want to install any more fucking interlocks. I want to do something different, you know." And so I completely understand that, like doing the same thing over and over, and it's awful. But when you get those custom shit, you're like, "Oh, cool, a challenge, like something different. This is cool."
Yeah, I get to use my creativity, my mind.
I
You know what I mean? Like
To that note, I saw you build some fucking crazy cars when you were there at King Kong. What was
I
some of your
loved it.
favorites?
I loved it, dude. Like one of the ones I built that I really really had fun with was what was it? 80, I think it was an 86 Cutlass. We'd put some actuators on the trunk so it opens, with the remote, the Viper alarm. So it just slowly open, and then I built, we put a custom mirrored insert in the lid, the trunk lid, and then did some what were they? They were Rockford Fosgate T2s.
Sick.
Yeah, T2s, and then we did the airbags. I mean, no, it was hydraulics actually.
Hydraulics.
The hydraulic pumps right in the middle. I have pictures of that actually, and he liked the Raiders, so it was all black and
Black and
gold and
silver.
silver. Yeah, black and silver. So it was pretty pimp, dude. And then I had the T amps right on the bottom of the floor like that on false
Sick.
floors.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites, dude. One of my favorites, and I have a lot of other ones that are up there. You know what I mean? There's a lot to talk about, but
You know what you
that's one
should
of my
do,
favorite.
and I would love to see it if you do, is you can get the all those pictures printed out, even if they're digital format. You can take it to Walgreens and get those pictures printed out. Just create like a portfolio of what you built,
I
all
should.
of your favorites, because I would love to look through that, bro. You know, I one of my favorite memories as a kid was going to the store and getting the latest car audio magazine. That was my favorite fucking thing. And bro, the car audio magazines didn't last very long. I think it was like in production 5 or 6 years,
They
and then
didn't
they
make it.
they stopped making them. So,
That's
dude,
crazy because I've never even heard of it. So
I have some in the garage. I'll show you before you leave.
shit.
I those and then the like the tuner magazines and stuff like that. Like all those car magazines, like even
Tuner
Lowrider,
tuner's still around.
they all kind of just like faded out to the background. It's not as prevalent as it used to be. But I remember like just seeing all those builds in the car audio and just getting ideas from them and being like, I want to do this. I want to build that. I want that in my car. And it was just like even when you see like the Cribs show, and people would show you their cars, I'll be like, oh my god, this is my favorite part. Fuck
Screw
the
the
house.
house. Look at that car.
Yeah, look at that car, bro. That's so wild. That's the mindset I came up with, was like, I don't care about anything else as long as I have a dope ass car.
Well, see, and then you just gave me something I gotta tell you that's super cool because you're a basshead.
Yeah.
Bro, my buddy at his shop, which is his name is Cell. His shop is called he's on Central. It's actually right there by King Kong. I forget Perfect Beat. The
Okay.
Perfect Beat.
Okay.
He's another basshead. He just bought Alma Gates Bronco. I don't know if you know which one that is. The kicker.
Yes.
The original kicker.
Like 140 something 12s in it or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
It is in his shop, dude.
Oh my god, that's a piece of basshead history.
Dude, that's history, bro. And the only way he was able to buy it because rest in peace, she's not around anymore.
Right.
The person that came up on it was, I think, a family member. I'm not too sure who it was. While he was driving, Sal was doing he was just driving around the United States, kind of like a cross country type thing.
Okay.
Just, blowing off money, just having fun.
Yeah.
And he ran across it. He
Oh
saw
my
it.
God.
He saw it from a distance. And he says that he went and checked it out. When he saw it from a distance, he's like, wait a minute, is that kicker? Is that him? And sure enough, he drove up to it, started checking it out, and bam, out of nowhere, the owner came out and said, obviously wants to investigate what the heck's going on. And he convinces him to sell it to him.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah. And the only way he would sell it to him is if he promised that he would keep kicker in it and rebuild it, bring it back to life, and keep, Miss Gates in mind.
Oh, okay, so I have so many questions, but were those original kickers that were in it, were they the 8 ohm circular ones, or was it the L7s?
No, they were the L7s already.
Fuck, that's wild.
Yeah, so there's no equipment in it anymore. They took it all out. I think they might have sold it, or I'm not sure.
Fuck, I would love to buy one of those speakers.
But it's all skeleton. You can literally drop some subwoofers in there. Yeah, and put on some amps.
I want one of the originals just to have it hang up on my wall and be like, this is part of Alma Gates' car. Yeah, that's fucking wild.
For a bass head, dude, that would be a trophy, dude, 100%. To have a subwoofer up.
Now, if anybody out there doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about and this sounds Chinese, just get on YouTube or Google and Google that kicker Bronco. It's a piece of bass head history. Everybody wanted that.
100% history.
That is so cool, bro. I had no idea about that. That's
he
really
has it
cool.
in the shop, man. And if you're ever interested, I'll be more than happy to take you to check it out.
I would love to go over there with you.
Yeah, that's my boy Sal, man. He's a good guy, and he'd love to show it to you. He actually shows it to everybody. He's so proud of it,
I would be too.
He's a bass head, dude. He just got a piece of history in his shop.
That's insane. That's the kind of people I need to link up with. Have you ever seen, and I'm sure you have, but the Stormtrooper Hummer around town?
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you know him?
Yeah, Brian.
Brian, yeah. Bro, he came and gave us a demo at WAC one day, and I was just like, oh my God.
How long ago was this?
Oh, it was before the rebuild.
Oh, okay. So you know about the rebuild.
Yeah, he's got B2 in there now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so fucking jealous. I thought the other setup was amazing. He had like 20-something batteries in that thing, and oh my God, just what did he say? 70,000 watts when he demoed it for us. 70,000 watts.
And he's got more now.
Most people out here with a car audio system that sounds pretty decent is running 1,000 watts or less.
1,000 watts, yeah. He could power the Empire State Building, bro, with 70,000 watts.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That is so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get on. That's another thing you guys can Google. Just go look at the Stormtrooper Hummer.
Yep.
It's a H2, isn't it?
H2.
Yeah, bro. I've been in it, and it's amazing. Like we were listening. He demoed it with us playing a Taylor Swift song. I couldn't handle more than 30 seconds in there, and I love that shit, bro. It killed me. I was like, oh.
What song was it?
I have it on my phone. I'll have to show you. I don't remember, but it was so good.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, it was so good. I was like, oh my God, I want to play Taylor Swift all the time now.
That's funny.
On that note, my wife convinced me through showing me videos of people going to Taylor Swift's Eras tours, she convinced me to go, and we went hard and we sat on the floor, and it was the best show I've ever been to in my life,
Yeah?
bro. And I will 100%, if she does another tour, I'm going back. It was so fucking good.
Yeah?
So good.
I mean, she is who she is for a reason, right?
Yeah, she is so fucking talented. And,
Yeah.
bro, to be able to put on a 3-hour show, bro, she didn't stop. Like, she was out of the spotlight for maybe 30 seconds at a time and maybe less than 5 times. The rest of the time she's on stage playing instruments, singing, dancing, doing all that. It's wild, bro.
You know,
so
and
impressed.
and us being musicians, we appreciate that about her
100%.
because this is actually an artist that actually doesn't only write her own music, but she also plays her own instruments. She plays like she's an artist. She's an actual musician, dude.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah,
dude.
like I appreciate her for that, bro.
100%.
She's a real musician.
And she's created this community that I can't speak volumes enough about, bro. I swear, people just think Taylor Swift fans. They think,
Swifties?
yeah,
Yeah.
they think 14-year-old girls, bro. There was people of all ages there, dude. Like there was people my age, dudes by themselves there. I sat next to a guy my age.
That was there by himself?
Yeah, and that was the 4th time he'd been to the concert, to one of her shows. He
Oh,
went
shit.
all over the country to her shows, and
He's a Swiftie?
yeah.
Okay.
My little brother's a huge Swiftie. Him and my wife went to see her in Denver, and I was just like, so at that time, I don't like concerts, bro. I'm not a big concert goer. It's not my thing. I'm like, if I want to listen to somebody's music, I'll put it on Spotify or I'll put my old CDs on. I don't need to go see somebody live. I've seen a few people live, and I was never super impressed with anybody. Probably the best show I had ever been to was Kid Rock, which I'm not real proud of, but he put on a good show. He's also a musician.
Yeah.
But bro, he is a shadow compared to what Taylor Swift did on that stage. I was just
Wow.
so fucking blown away. I was like, this is amazing. I'll go to any of her shows anytime. It was not a concert, bro. It was a production. There was just so much involved, and her athleticism, her vocals, just. I know a lot of people don't like her, and I know a lot of people don't like her voice. Even, not to make it political or anything, but most people on one side of the aisle don't like her, and most people on the other side do. But even the people on that side of the aisle, it's hit or miss. Some people are
Yeah.
like, "Oh, she can't sing," and I'll give it to you. She's not the best singer out there. There are better singers.
Oh yeah, of course.
But from a musician standpoint, like you said, dude, she is fucking brilliant. She's
Yeah.
amazing. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, to that note, like it came full circle from me getting that it combined the two things that I love so much, music and bass, being a bass head, and came full circle when I went and saw her in concert, and I was like, I got to sit in a vehicle that was just gonna explode my chest listening to Taylor Swift.
You were gonna die happy.
It was so good, bro.
Oh man.
That's so funny, dude.
Yeah.
Well, you have been super generous with your time, and I appreciate you coming here and taking that journey back in time with me because I love it. I love it so much. And, I appreciate your time, and I'm glad that I know you and we've been friends for so long because
Yes, thank God.
so many good times. And,
sir.
I definitely, I want to respect your time, but also if you're open to it, I definitely want to bring you in on my build because I want quality this time. I've never actually done a build where I have something of quality. So, and I've built a couple cars. So this one I want it to be really nice.
Yeah,
And
let's do it, man.
I would love to get your thoughts, your opinions, and maybe some of your quality work in there.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I'm down.
I appreciate you, brother.
So down.
All right. Well, you guys know what to do. Hit the like, the subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And real quick, give these people some places they can follow you and check out your posts and stuff.
Oh man, well, I'm not really into social media, but you can always look me up on Facebook. I'm Jose Montiel.
There you go.
Just look me up, and if anything,
Well, for maybe for somebody who wants to see your old car audio builds.
yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
all in there.
Good.
It's all in there. Or you know what? Even better. Follow King Kong Custom. He posts everything I've ever built.
That's awesome. Cool. All right, guys. This has been another episode of Ordinary Joe's Extraordinary Stories. Thank you for coming along on the ride, and thank you, brother, for being here. We will see you on the next one.
Heck yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. When I was 23, it was honey sticks.
What the fuck is that?
You don't know what a honey stick is?
No.
Oh, dude. Yeah, so a honey stick is literally that. It's a stick of honey. You know those honeysuckle sticks that, like, when you were a kid, you know what I'm talking about? No? Yes? No?
I guess honeysuckle.
Like the honeysuckle sticks?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
You know, they were like little straws kind of
Yeah.
things filled with honey.
Filled with honey, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the honey stick for adults is literally almost the same thing, but the honey actually gets you going, bro. Gets you horny, gets you yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, dude, and that was the thing, and it was supposed to be like the natural thing instead of trying to go with Viagra or something lab fabricated.
That's funny.
Oh man, I can't believe you didn't know what that was. I feel like a pervert now.
Or just an old man.
Or just an old man. Yeah. All right. Let's save the material.
Save it for the pod. That's what I tell everybody. Save it for the pod.
It's because once you get going, you get going.
For sure. Alright, put them headphones on. Give me a check real quick.
Check, check, mic check.
Move it up just a little bit towards you. That'll work.
How about that? Is that better?
Yeah. Can you hear?
What's that?
Can you hear okay?
I can hear. Okay, yes.
Do you need more volume at all?
No.
Okay.
It's perfect.
Well, I'm fucking deaf and I need more.
It's the 3 years you got on me.
It's all that car audio player.
And you're trying to put 415s in your
Yes, sir.
in your Scion? That's crazy, bro.
It only makes sense because I can't hear anything anymore. So I
you
need
gotta
louder volume.
up it.
That's right.
Yeah.